My brothers and sisters, you cannot always choose who's in your life, but definitely you can choose what they do to it. And today I would like to maybe a little bit get personal. By asking myself and asking each and every one of us, and you want to be honest, even if you're just honest with yourself, to see if this talk of today relate to you somehow. Do you feel that there is someone maybe in your life right now who drains you? Not someone who hurt you dramatically, not an enemy, not someone you did something not something who did something terrible to you. No, just someone who's every time you leave their presence, you feel heavier than when you arrived. Maybe it's a coworker, the one who walks into the office every morning, and before they even sit down, they have already told you why the day is going to be terrible, why the company falling apart, why management sucks, why your plan doesn't work. Unfortunately, there is some people are human, but they come in the shape of migraine. Every lunch is a complaint session. Every meeting is a sigh. Every good news you share met with a reason why it will not last. Or maybe it is even closer than work. Maybe someone who lives under your roof. A family member has turned your home, the place that's supposed to be your refuge, peace, home, into a place you dread coming back to. The parent who criticizes everything you do. The siblings who mocks your dreams. The spouse who find fault before find love. The relatives who visit and leaves the house feeling smaller than when they arrived. And here's what nobody tells you about living or working with a negative person. You don't just hear their negativity. You observe it slowly without realizing it. You start walking up with less energy. You stop sharing your wins because for a simple reason. You already know that what they will say to you. You lower your ambitions because their ceiling has become your ceiling. You become quieter, smaller, more afraid. And one day you will look into the mirror and realize the most negative voice in your head sounds exactly like theirs. That's a real danger. Not what they say to you, but what you eventually start saying to yourself, you become. And I'll say it is even become much, much bigger problem if this is the tone of the country. If this is the voice that you hear from the top and the leader of the place that we're living in. It's not a small problem. American Institute of Stress found that workplace negativity is one of the leading causes of burnout, anxiety, chronic fatigue in working adults. Harvard Business reported that just listen carefully to this, a single negative worker can reduce the performance of an entire team by up to 30 to 40%. Not 2%, not 5%, 30 to 40%. One person. Those energy suckers, get them out. The energy of one human being pulling down an entire room, an entire team. And that just at work, where at least at the end of the day, you can walk out, you can get in the car, you can close the door behind you. But when the negativity does not stay at the office, it follows you home. And home, the place that is supposed to restore you, is where it unfortunately lives. There is a concept in sociology called emotional contagion. The idea that emotions, like viruses, is spread from person to person. You have experienced this. You walk into a room where someone is laughing, and before you even know what the joke is, you find yourself smiling. You walk into a room where someone is crying, and something in your chest tightens. Emotions transfer, very contagious. They are not contained inside the person feeling them. They reach you. They reach your children. They reach everyone sits at the table or share that office. And the people who's damaged the most are rarely the one who choose to be there. They are the ones who are forced to be there, have no choice but to be there. Now I want you to hear what our Prophet ﷺ said and what our religion said about this. It's so beautiful. Because this is just not psychology problem. This is a spiritual one. The Prophet ﷺ said, مثل الجليس الصالح والجليس السوء كحامل المسك ونافخ الكير. The example of a good companion and a bad companion is like a seller of a musk and the one who works the blacksmith fire. Picture a perfume merchant. You walk past their shop. They don't have to handle you anything. They don't need to sell you anything. You don't have to buy or to get anything from them. Just by being near them, you carry the scent with you when you leave. Now picture the blacksmith hammering metal over blazing fire. You walk past it again. They handle you nothing. But the smoke finds you. The heat finds you. The soot lands on your clothes. You didn't ask for it. You were just nearby. That's what the Prophet ﷺ was telling us 1400 years ago, before sociologists or psychologists or psychology had name for it, before Harvard wrote a single study about it. The people you sit with change you, whether you intend it or not, whether you notice it or not. And then there is the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, and I want you really carefully listen to it. He said, "Man qala halaka an-nas fahuwa ahlakuhum." Whoever says people are doomed, he is the most doomed of them all. Reported by Imam Muslim. Think about that. The person who walks up every morning and say, nothing works, everything is corrupt, this country is finished. Those people are hopeless. Nothing will never change. That person, according to the Prophet ﷺ, is not a realist. They're not wise. They're not the one who sees things clearly. They are the most damaged person in the room and in the society and in the community. Because they have allowed despair to become their permanent lens. And now they see everything through it. They're spreading that despair to everyone around them. And I want to talk to you back, or I'll take you back to one of the hardest moments in the history of our religion, in the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Battle of Al-Ahzab, the Battle of Trench. Thousands of enemy are already marching towards Medina, surrounding Medina from everywhere. The companions are racing against time, digging the trench with their bare hands, exhausted, hungry, afraid. Enemy from outside and betrayal from inside. The enemy have not even arrived yet, and already the fear was unbearable. This was not just a bad day in the office. This is a threat to their survival. And in the middle of all that, the Prophet ﷺ struck a rock with his pickaxe. And instead of giving into the darkness around him, the rumor of the hypocrites, the negativity the hypocrites spreading around, he turned to his companions and he said, لا يبلغن هذا الأمر ما بلغ الليل والنهار ولا يترك الله بيت مدر ولا وبر إلا أدخله الله هذا الدين بعز عزيز أو بذل ذليل. Imam Ahmad reported that the Prophet ﷺ looked at the companion, he said, this matter of this religion will reach every night and day, everywhere, wherever every night and day reach. And it will not leave a single house, whether built of a stone or wall, a tent or a house, except that he will cause this religion to enter it. They were surrounded, striving, outnumbered, and he was describing the future of the entire world. By the way, this is not denial. That's not ignoring the pain. That is prophetic response to negativity. He saw what they couldn't see. He spoke from a place a negative voice around him could not reach. And that's exactly what you must do when you're surrounded by people who only see the darkness. You have to be the one who still remember that morning is coming. And here's what Islam gives us as the most powerful antidote to the negative mindset. Not just in ourselves, but as a response to those who spread it. Islam commands us to have concept of husnul dhann billah. We think well of Allah. And do you know what that does to negativity? It destroys it at the root. Because the negative person, the one who says nothing works, the world is falling apart, there is no point, that person has somewhere along the way forgotten that things can be different, that things are controlled by Allah. Their negativity has become a fog so thick that it blinds them from seeing the mercy of the most merciful, the wisdom of the most wise, the bright side that was always there. But the believer, the true believer, looks at the same exact world and sees something different. They remember what Allah said, أَنَا عِنْدَ ظُنِّ عَبْدِي بِي. I am as my servant think of me. That's what your Lord said. And He said also, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Even when things are bad, He said, and it may be that you dislike something while it is good for you. This is not naivety. This is not ignoring reality. This is Islamic worldwide. That behind every hardship, every difficult person, every painful season, there is a God who will managing it. A Lord who's the most merciful, who will take you through it, who planned it, who does not decree anything except that it carries wisdom and mercy the human eye cannot see at some point. And when that lives in your heart, truly lives there, believe me, no negative person can plant their despairs in you, because that soil is already taken. And elsewhere, the Quran described those who are toxic to the human spirit, toxic to your iman, to your heart, to your life. وَلَا تُطِعْ كُلَّ حَلَّافٍ مَهِينٍ هَمَّازٍ مَشَّاءٍ بِنَمِيمٍ مَنَّاعٍ لِلْخَيْرِ مُعْتَدٍ أَثِيمٍ. And do not obey every worthless, habitual swearer, scorner, going about with malicious gossip, preventer of good, transgressor, sinful one. Listen to what Allah said. Allah said, Allah is not telling you to hate those people. He's telling you not to obey them, not to be led by them, not to let their vision of the world become your vision of the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يعصمنا وإياكم من الشر وأن يوفقنا وإياكم إلى الخير. أقول ما سمعتم وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد. My brothers and sisters, I want to give you a few practical points that you can do in how to deal with negative people in your life. Number one, know the difference between negative person and a person going through something negative. Before you pull back, make sure you understand who you are dealing with. There is a difference between someone who is going through a hard season and someone who has made negativity a permanent address. A person going through a hard season is struggling. They're sad. They're afraid. They need your presence, your patience, your prayer for them. That person, you stay. But a person who has made negativity their identity, who turns every silver lining into a complaint, who cannot be happy for you or for anyone or even for themselves, who uses their pessimism like a weapon against joy, that's a different situation. That a person you keep a distance from. Second, protect your energy without losing your character. Here where most people get this wrong. They think the answer to negative person is to become hard, cold, dismissive, to match the energy with silence and cruelty. This is not the Sunnah. This is not the character of the believer. The Prophet ﷺ did not respond to negativity with more negativity. He responded with something that confused the negativity. He responded with calm. And calm to a negative person is disorienting. They want a reaction. They want you to argue. They want you to complain like them, to feel what they're feeling. But when you stay calm, when you smile, when you answer nothing will work, let's see what happens. They got confused. When you refuse to be recruited to their war against hope, they get confused. I will not allow anyone to walk through my mind with their dirty feet. That's the message that you're sending them. Another point, build something they cannot take from you. They cannot even touch. Here's the hardest truth about negative people. They cannot destroy what they cannot access. If your confidence lives inside their opinion of you, they own your confidence. If your joy depends on their approval, they own your joy. If your ambition requires their encouragement, one sentence from them can silence you for years. The solution is not to need less. The solution is to source differently. عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلَّهُ لَهُ خَيْرٌ. The Prophet ﷺ said, how amazing is the affair of the believer. All his affair is good. If something good happened to him, he's grateful. Something, for what happened to him. If something bad happens to him, he's patient, and that's good for him as well. That's the believer. Cannot be broken by a co-worker, or a spouse, or parents, or children, or siblings, or relatives, or neighbors, or strangers. Cannot be emptied by anyone. Because their source is not the people around them. Their source is Allah. Building what I call your private inner architecture. Your relationship with the Quran that no one at work can touch. Your morning adhkar that sets your energy before they can ruin it for you. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah used to stay after Fajr for a long time. And he was asked, why you stay such a long time? He said, this is my breakfast. That's this nourishment I take to carry my thoughts through the day. Without it, I would be weak. He didn't start his day with the news, with the problems, with the people who drained him. No, he starts his day with Allah. And that's what you should do. Brothers and sisters, when you do that, when the world come at you, you're already full. You're already strong. You're already on your feet. My brothers and sisters, there's a lot to be said. But to the one who drives home from work in silence, just to compress from one person who at work, took everything from you today. The one who walks into their own house and feels their shoulders tense because the energy in that home has not been peaceful in years. To the one who stopped dreaming out loud because every dream they shared was met with a reason it would not work. I want to say this to all of you. You're not weak for being affected by the people around you. This is not weakness. This is humanity. Allah created us to feel, to observe, to be impacted by the world around us. But He also gave us something not negative people can take. He gave us access to Him. Not just on Friday, not just on Ramadan, not just in crisis, every single moment in the car, in the break room, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, He is there. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Call me and I will respond to you. Not call on me when you have figured it all out. Call me when things are better. No. Right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. The negative person in your life has been around for a while, but they don't get the lost world. Allah does. And His word about you is better than everything they have ever said to you. And finally, before I end my khutbah, my brothers and sisters, Allah commands us to stand for justice and to be witnesses to the truth today, to the truth. And today, the responsibility is right here in our own state. For the first time in over a decade, Texas is rewriting what our children and millions of others will learn about history, religion, and civilization. And we are seeing serious concerns. The marginalization of Islamic contribution and a biased narrative that do not reflect fairness and truth. This is not just about Muslims. This is about truth. This is about raising generation that understand the world with justice, balance, and respect. So what is our role? We don't remain silent, we engage. We engage with wisdom, dignity, and strength. I urge you today to take first step and join us on Sunday, this Sunday, 2:15 p.m., here in this masjid in your community, in the town hall, for an important session to understand what is happening and how can we make our voice heard. Speak up, write, and if able, go and testify. And just as important, participation in the upcoming runoff election as well. Your voice is not only in what you say, but in who you help place in position of decision making. My dear brothers and sisters, this is a moment of responsibility. Let us not absent when your voice is needed. May Allah make us people who stand for truth, protect our children, and protect our country and states and the society with justice. And since we talk about negativity, I don't want to end without a positive note. We recently witnessed a meaningful step forward in our own city. A resolution presented at the Houston City Council by Council Member Julian Ramirez, recognizing March 24th, 2026 as a day to combat Islamophobia in Houston. This is more than just a symbolic gesture. It's a public acknowledgement that our community matters, that discrimination must be confronted, and our voice are heard by people who in charge. But also, Recognition is the beginning. It must be followed by actions, by building bridge, by standing firm, tall, strong, proud against injustice, and representing our faith with excellence. Let this moment inspire us to be present, be engaged, and many thanks to so many organizations who have helped to facilitate this, like Khayr and others in Houston, and to continue strive so that truth, dignity, and respect are not just declared, but lived in our society. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all success and safety and strength. May Allah forgive our shortcoming. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfill our dreams and fulfill our homes and life with blessings and prosperity and forgiveness.